All right, the next exercise we're going to do here, the second one for week 2 here, is what is called a shape tween. Just before we head into that, I want to sort of differentiate the difference here. The motion tween that we did with the green ball on the simple motion tween exercise basically took a graphic that we had over here in the library and it moved it from point A to point B on the timeline. In fact, here I can pop over. This was your last exercise if you're doing them in the order that I would hope you're doing them in. This exercise we're going to do is what's called a shape tween. And I'm just basically doing these two at the beginning because they're the most simple sort of animated elements that you can do in Flash. And they also sort of are the beginnings of hopefully opening up opportunity, tickle your brain a little bit in terms of the creative types of tweens that you can do in Flash. So just as I did with the first exercise, the motion tween exercise, I am going to sort of follow along my step-by-steps here. So I'm actually going to skip to step 4. We've already created our new file. I'm going to assume we know how to create that ActionScript 3.0 file. Again, I'm just keeping this simple white rectangular file here. I am going to go to the oval tool, just as we did on the other one. Now the difference here is in this shape tween, I'm going to actually just draw directly on the stage. Okay, and the shape tween is basically going to turn one shape into another. Okay, so click and hold and draw a circle on the actual stage in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, we can make a circle by holding down Shift. So I'm going to go actually to the stage here, and I'm going to go bottom right there. Just as with the motion tween, you'll see that a keyframe, because I sort of did something, I sort of stated that something is so, that keyframe was sort of automatically created. Next, it's step 8. It says step 7, move up to frame 60, just as we did last time. And it says insert timeline blank keyframe. Okay, so I'm going to insert timeline blank keyframe. Now, before we sort of head into this, I want to sort of differentiate what is happening here. You'll notice as I move the playhead that I created a frame up at frame 60 that is a keyframe, meaning that it's stating that something is so at that moment, but it's blank. And what that means is bring that green circle all the way up basically to frame 59 and then give us a blank spot, sort of a blank canvas or a blank area on which we can sort of denote that something is so or define something on that frame 60. Okay. In this case, it's going to be shape tween, so we're going to basically define a different type of shape there. Okay. So step 8, choose insert timeline blank keyframe at that frame 60. You should sort of look like this at this point. Now, it says while on that blank keyframe, so I'm going to actually sort of go back and choose that, make sure I'm on that blank keyframe. You'll see that it's sort of selected with that orange color. Draw a rectangle of a different color on that frame. Okay, so we're going to go over to the rectangle tool. I'm going to choose a different color. I'll choose sort of a pink, I guess. And I am going to, while I'm on that frame, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay. You'll note that once I did that, I'm going to back up. You'll see that when I draw, I want you to sort of, you can watch up there. When I draw, that fills in with a keyframe. Okay. So we have sort of points A and B. Just like we had point A and B in terms of a motion. In this case, we have point A, which is, it's going to be a green circle. And point B is sort of a pinkish rectangle. Okay. The next thing we have to do is basically create a different type of tween. Okay. We had a motion tween. You saw that sort of blue line. Here I'll go back to my motion tween. That blue line that sort of states that this thing goes from point A to point B. We're going to do something similar here on this in between these two keyframes, but it's called a shape tween. So it says choose any frame in between frame 1 and frame 60. Click on that frame, so I just click in the middle there. And says choose insert shape tween. So I'm going to go to insert shape tween. Okay, you'll see that it filled in with this green shaded area. You'll note that I'm switching over to my motion tween here. A motion tween is blue, a shape tween is green. Okay. Now, you'll see that we sort of quickly head into choose file, save as, and name your file. That's because we, by inserting that shape tween, created this tween. So I'm going to move my playhead, and you'll notice that it both takes care of the shape as we move across. It creates those in-between frames, and the color. Okay, so it changes from the green to the red. Okay, so that is a simple shape tween, and we're going to do the file, save as. Again, I'm going to call mine David Luke _ shape tween. I can't stress enough, we're going to choose that Flash document. That should already be sort of chosen. I can't stress enough, make sure you name these the correct names. Underscore shape tween, that's going to be part of your grade on these exercises. It's an organizational thing for me. When I go to grade a million of these, I need them all named the same thing so that I can quickly grade them and sort of see that you did your work. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. Okay, and just like last time, we go to Control Test Movie in Flash Professional, and we see that shape tween sort of play over and over again. You'll notice that Flash just wants to play movies over and over and over again. Once our movies get longer, that's not going to be necessarily a problem. Later in the semester, we're going to learn how to stop the movies at the end, give a viewer a choice as to what to do. But this is basically what your shape tween movie should look like. Again, you're giving me just the SWF file. Do not give me .fla files. Okay? If I close that out, I go over. This is my stuff here. You will note that in the same folder that I created the .fla, so here's my motion tween and here's my shape tween, this file, this SWF file, was automatically created. Okay, so that's a file. This is the file that I want. They have a slightly different looking icon, but that is the file that I want. Okay, so put those in the Dropbox by I believe September 8th, next Monday, again 11:59 p.m. Basically have till midnight. Again, this is the only week. I'm pretty sure that I'll release stuff on Tuesday because of the Labor Day holiday. Questions, concern, feel free to post on D2L a question. If someone has a similar question, they might find it helpful to sort of see that in the discussions. Make sure you go back and tell everyone what your truth or lies were on our little introductions. Otherwise, I will see 2 SWFs, this and this, in the Dropbox by next Monday at midnight. Email me with any questions.